Hello, welcome to Chewed Gum. Today is March 31st. And if you would like to call, we have a bunch of open lines. This is a show about rejecting purity culture, challenging misogyny, and the effects of religious trauma on women. And you can call in at 720-619-2228 or through the web link that's in the description if you want to talk to us about any of those things. My name is Alyssa. Hi.
And I'm Taylor. Hi, how you doing?
We're doing great, guys. We're doing great. I don't know. What's new? Anything? I feel like I've talked to you more this week than I have in actually ever.
Yeah, probably. I'm still on my video game grind, but I also had a crochet commission piece, which was another Charizard, big Charizard. So I'm almost finished that and I can't wait for it to be done because it stresses me out. But I'm happy that someone wanted it, but I'm happy it's going to be over soon. So yeah, but I've been staying up ungodly hours, 5 a.m. all the time, almost every night.
Oh my God.
It's a problem. But I did discover today that Arden is also suffering in that way with Pocopia. So I have someone to I have someone to bond over it with. And then also I'm definitely gonna make a recording of my progress in the game and make her watch it. So I'm excited for that.
Oh my God.
How about you?
Guys.
What's new with you?
What did I do this weekend? Literally, what did I even do? I don't even. Oh, my brother was in town with his with his fiance. So I drove down to Palm Springs in the desert and we had a really nice time. Oh my gosh, I wish I had my bag somewhere near me because I saw these really cool buttons in a store that we were in, and my fiance bought them for me. It says, "Oh, hello."
Oh, I saw those, but I forget what they say, and I can't see them for some reason.
I know. Oh, this is the worst. Hold on. There we go. No, that's just my. Okay. I feel like a boomer. It says never trust a Republican. It's just not going to show up. Oh,
that's right. It does say that. Yeah, I love this.
I don't know. Maybe that will show up. That's better.
You put those on literally everything.
Yeah, it's so cute. So we saw them in there. My dogs are barking. And Kevin secretly bought one for me, and I think it's so cute, and I put it on my bag.
So romantic.
Yeah.
Don't trust a Republican. I love that.
Listen, we just have shared values. What are you gonna do?
No,
Uh,
absolutely. I would love that too.
yeah. Um, what else? I don't even know. That's kind of like the big thing. There were really great protests this weekend, No Kings
Yeah.
protests. It was so weird. I had no idea that they were happening. I don't know how it like completely.
Yeah, I've been to all the other ones, but literally I woke up Saturday morning and I had to go like do an errand and I literally saw something online. And it's funny because I'm glad I've built this reputation for myself, but two of my best friends already thought I was there. Like they messaged me something and they're like, "I know you're probably there." And I was like, "Well, I'm glad I built that reputation for myself, but no, I'm not there." And it just didn't register. I knew one was coming up, but for some reason I just didn't remember at all.
Yeah.
And then it was like halfway through the day, and I was like, damn.
Everything is very overwhelming and weird right now. So we're doing our best.
Yeah.
I didn't see a thing about it. And honestly, sometimes I think about how like sharing things on social media seems sort of like silly until
Mhm.
something like this happens where I'm like, well, I wish everyone would have shared this because I had no idea it was happening.
Right. And I really like going to them because I know people have different opinions about like I know some people really get annoyed with them and, say they don't do anything. But I think the biggest thing for me is it really like boosts morale and makes me feel hope because when you're around a bunch of people who are fighting for the same things or at least care about something similar to you,
Yeah.
it feels really good. And I think that's really helpful, especially for people in red states, super conservative states, where they don't think they have anybody like that around them. And then they go to one, they see there's actual people who,
Hmm.
I don't know, give them hope. So yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah. And I think it also is important in terms of showing resistance. Like, even if they don't do anything, it's important that the resistance is being created anyway. Like,
Right.
I
I
think
mean,
it was
there's,
8
sorry, go
million
ahead.
people. I think it was 8 million people across the US like that. And it's the largest protest we've had for a sitting president literally ever in history.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like just the fact that they hate the protests and like always they'll like call people terrorists or say that they're paid and like all of this
Hmm.
stuff, which first of all, I need some money then because I've been to some, so yeah, but I think it says a lot that it like really really bothers them because then
Yeah.
it's harder for them to ignore the fact that people are unhappy with what Trump is doing and
Hmm.
it gets harder for them to lie about approval ratings and stuff like that because, people are seeing millions of people out on the streets, so they're obviously going to know they're lying that
Yeah.
so much of the country is so happy with what he's doing. Obviously, that's not true. So,
Yeah, that it's like it's especially helpful for a president who needs everyone to be praising him constantly and building
right.
statues and like it's great to see 8 million people get
Yeah.
out on a Saturday morning and really express how much they fucking hate him.
It's so weird to it's also weird that we're seeing this so much only in like a year into his presidency when like people voted for him.
I
I'm like,
know.
what? Like it's just so I don't know. It's so frustrating because I'm like a lot of people now and I'm happy that some people are willing to actually like criticize him now or move away from it. But I genuinely like what did they think was gonna happen? Like I just don't understand it. Like I
Yeah.
don't like he said exactly so much stuff that he was gonna do and it's like they just didn't believe him because they're like, oh, that's Trump. He exaggerates or like whatever.
Hmm.
He jokes, they say all the time, and then it's like not a joke like a month later. But yeah, it's super frustrating to see record-breaking protests, and also we elected him like a year ago.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
I know. I think his approval rating right now is 33%, which
Yeah,
is
it's low as
so
hell.
crazy.
And the
I know.
and the
Sorry.
longer the like war thing goes on,
Hmm.
I mean, I know they don't want to call it a war, but it is, the lower it'll get. I think
Yeah.
that's like a huge thing for a lot of conservatives right now because I mean, you have clips of JD Vance being like, if you ever Kamala, they're gonna send your sons to die in war, and like
Right.
now that's what they're doing. So
Right. so crazy. I
Yeah.
remember a long time ago, one of my dad's friends said that you should take Trump, I think he said take Trump seriously, but not literally. And I was like,
What's that mean?
what does that even fucking mean? Like, I don't know.
What like how are you supposed to take him seriously and not literally? Like what's the how are you supposed to
Girl, I don't know, but I think this is what, like, I genuinely think this is the conversation that this like group of people are having or were having among themselves, where it's like, well, I'm not gonna say, he's not gonna actually do that,
And it's like,
but
no,
like,
it's not obvious. It's actually
right,
obvious, like, he'll probably do it because he's unhinged.
right,
And my biggest pet peeve is when people act like, oh, it's fine because he normally says this stuff or he's normally outrageous. I'm like, why don't you have a standard for who the president is at all?
yeah,
Like at all. I don't understand why it's seen as acceptable because he does it all the time. It's like, yeah, and he shouldn't like that shouldn't be normal. I just like am never gonna sit back and act like it's normal because it's
yeah.
fucking not.
It's just really, really fucking not. Yeah. There's something else I was gonna say about Trump. I don't know. I don't remember. Um,
Wait, did we talk about the Sharpie thing?
Sharpie?
Yeah, he went off like for 5 minutes about Sharpie, like the markers.
What did she
And
say about
I
Sharpies?
don't even remember, but it was just deranged. It was something about a gold Sharpie and something about like just weird stuff about Sharpie. He literally went on for like 5 minutes about it. And I think he said something about $1,000 Sharpie or something. And it just it felt very transparent that he has some sort of dementia going on because everyone in the room was just kind of like, and when he does these weird rants that don't mean anything, I feel like everyone just like giggles because they act like
Yeah,
it's a joke. And I'm like, no, he actually doesn't like know what's going on. He's just saying shit. It's
I
weird.
know. I think that they do this weird thing when he says insane stuff and they're like, ah, he's being
Yeah.
so silly, silly Trump. And meanwhile,
Yeah.
he's like fully sundowning in the Oval Office. I'm like,
Yeah, or he's
okay.
just like straight up insulting them. Like the other day when he said, I hate surrounding myself with successful people.
Yeah.
Basically, I surround myself with losers, to make myself feel better. And they were all laughing. I'm like, that's y'all. Why are you laughing? And they also laughed whenever Trump said smart people don't like me, and they all
Oh
laughed. I'm
yeah.
like, bro, he's calling you dumb. Get
Oh
up,
my
stand up,
God.
sister. But no, they laugh
That
instead.
is that's
It's
so funny.
embarrassing.
Wow. Yeah. God. Did you see and then we'll get into some calls because we do have some people who called in, but we also have open lines. So if you are interested in calling in, you
Yes.
can call the number at the bottom, you can call the web link, and you can chat with us. Uh oh gosh, did I forget it? You know what? I forgot it. So,
It's okay.
you
He
know,
does a lot of things. It's
he
hard to
does a lot of
remember it all.
things all the time. Stupid idiot things. Um, as a reminder, super chats of $5 or more will be read at the end of the show. So make sure that you get your super chats in whenever you think of them. And if you could, please like this stream so that it gets pushed out to the algorithm and we can get more people watching and calling and doing all of the things. Is Easter this weekend?
Yeah, and I didn't even realize it until my one of my best friends moved home, like back
Hmm.
here, which I'm so happy about because she was living in Indiana, which is I don't know, a bit yikes right now because she was in a very red area. But she said something about hanging out on Sunday, and I looked at my calendar. I was like, holy shit, it's Easter. I
Yeah.
forgot. I totally
Yeah.
forgot until I looked at um the calendar. Yeah. Really quick,
I,
I have a funny Easter story really quick. Last
yes.
Easter we went to my husband's grandparents' house and
Mhm.
they're very Christian. And apparently they have lamb every Easter, okay? And my husband's mom goes, "Why are we eating lamb on Easter? Isn't that like what we're eating, like the Lamb of God or like the
Mm.
symbolic lamb? Like that's really creepy." And like I just thought it was funny because his grandmother was getting really pissed off. She's like, "Stop talking like that." And she's like, "Oh, we're eating like baby lamb, like on Easter. That's like dark."
It
And I
is
just thought that was really
dark.
funny.
That is
Yeah.
crazy. I remember, yeah, lamb is like an Easter thing. And one year my sister made a lamb cake. Like she made a cake that she made look like a lamb, and it was the
Yeah.
scariest shit I've ever seen in my life. I have to see if I could find a picture of it.
I
It was
have
so horrifying.
I've actually seen I swear I've seen videos of people making lamb cakes. Is that like a thing? Do people do that? It's
Yeah,
interesting.
apparently.
It
Apparently.
probably did look a little demonic. I feel like
Yeah,
there's
no,
no way to make it not look horrifying.
it was very cursed. It was very cursed looking.
Curse lamb cake.
Yeah. I didn't realize where we were in like the whole holiday calendar until on so it must have been Sunday. Wow, that's so rude, you guys. I'm so sorry. Um, on Sunday, I was at a diner and I saw everyone walking in with friggin' dried grass in their hand. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, oh, it's Palm Sunday.
Oh, the like palm leaves or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
The worst is
forget
when you
about
don't
that.
know it's Ash Wednesday, and then you go outside and you're like, what the f It's the scariest day of the year.
I know. I used back forever ago when I had a like job I actually went to. A bunch of people walked in with that on their foreheads, and a
Yeah,
girl I was working with literally looked at me horrified, and she's like,
horrified.
"Taylor, what's going on?" I'm like, it's a Catholic thing. They'd never heard of it before in their life, so they were like really creeped out because they're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, honestly, if you've never heard of it, it's creepy as hell. Like, it kind of looks like cult-ish.
it does. Well, I mean,
Yeah. No, I
if
mean, yeah. Yeah,
it
exactly.
looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, you know?
Exactly.
All right, so we have a bunch of calls in right now. Do you have a preference of what you would like to take first? We do have some theists.
Maybe oh wait, is that who I think it is at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was about to I don't know then. Because I'm a little confused by some of the
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe we take the one that's been waiting the longest because I also am confused and I fear this will be
yeah.
maybe a quicker call. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. We're gonna pull in Michelle, who is calling from New York. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
It's going very well. I had a great day.
Great.
Good.
Happy to hear it.
Great day.
So I see you put yourself down as a theist, but part of what you
hmm
wanted to share was why nobody should follow Christianity. So explain
hmm
a little more to us.
Well, in my study, and I'm in my, and I don't want to say in depth to raise any ego or anything like that, but I've studied Christianity for quite some time. Went to seminary, but way back in the day, and when I really looked into it, I'm like, well, it seems to me that the Jesus in the Christian Bible, New Testament, and then the gospel, the letters and the epistles and the book of Revelation don't seem like they're using the same voice. Like, especially when I'm reading that text and trying to get his tenor and timbre and declination and inclination, sometimes I'm not hearing the same voice within every person claiming to be the Christ or Jesus or the Messiah or the King of the Jews. He claims so many different names about himself. You know, the Jesus that I'd like to get to know and understand better is the one that just claimed to be the Son of a Man or the Son of Man. He said, "Why do you call me the Son of the King of the Jews? I'm just the Son of Man. I'm just the Son of a Man. Don't make the story too much bigger than it already is. You don't have to glorify me. I'm not divine." So, and then there was the Jesus that died on the cross. There were probably many Yeshuas or Joshuas, to use his Anglican name, or Jesus, that were crucified around that time. Were some of them going around claiming to be the Son of God and King of the Jews? Possible. Well, I hear there were a lot of lunatics back then roaming streets because they didn't have asylums to lock them up in. Anyway, I've talked too long. You ladies have a say. Have at me. I'm ready for the mortal blaze if that's what you need to weigh into me with.
Um, No, I'm not sure if I'm fully understanding. Do you have anything to say, Alyssa? I'm not sure. So you're saying you don't believe, so you don't believe Jesus is God, right? You're saying he was just like
I don't know
normal
if
dude.
Jesus is God. I have no proof to say otherwise. I don't know if he
Right.
is. I don't know if he isn't. I haven't seen proof. Say that much.
Yeah.
If he's
So
Yeah, I
God,
agree with
he
that.
comes down here and fucking shows himself.
Michelle, what God do you believe in?
Um, I don't know. I went to a I went to a I went to a Quran Bible study, like Quran study not too long ago, and they had the Sanskrit and the Arabic written next to all the English for the English people that were participating, and I was like just by looking at Sanskrit, I was getting inspired to sing all these hilarious, funny songs about why I'm switching from the Bible to the Quran I. But anyway, that's just a funny little silly thing.
And okay, and so when you called in, you mentioned something about Salman Rushdie. Who is this person?
Yes. I didn't know
He
if you'd
looks like
actually.
a
I didn't know
he
if you'd
looks like
bite.
an
I didn't know if you'd
he
bite.
looks like an evil villain. Who is this person?
Solomon Rushdie. He wrote a book called The Satanic Verses, not to be confused with the Satanic Bible, written by Anton LaVey. And the Satanic Verses, written by Solomon Rushdie, was a book about the Quran, the Muslim and Islamic faith. It was about Sharia and Shia law and Sunni law and Sufi law. It was about mysticism. It was about everything that you could imagine that Islam or being a Muslim is about. And he hammered hard. One thing that he hammered hard. The one thing that he didn't like was, and that he hammered hard, was the treatment of women in that religion and that faith. And I'm sure you two ladies know about. I'm sure you two ladies know about what I shall not mention, because even though I identify as a lady, I will not mention it because I don't have one, never have. But what they do right around birth to their women, I think that's an atrocious thing, and Solomon Rushdie did too. The one thing why he's hunted so much, one thing is because of that, but also because it's like the Muslims believe, they would say that a lot of what he affirmed in his book and put out there is untrue, but some of them are true. But yeah, but I can't give away any more than that, because I could probably tell you why he got stabbed in the eye, and they weren't just aiming for his eye; they were aiming for his brain. Luckily, the security staff got there. Yeah.
Well, I feel sort of confused about where to go with this. I will say there's people in the chat who are like, how do you not know who this person is?
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Why the fuck? Like, why would I know who this person is? Like, it's like,
God, you never heard the name Solomon Rushdie? He wrote the Satanic Verses.
He's 78.
It was the biggest. What generation are you in? Z?
I'm
it was
32
the biggest thing in the 90s.
Okay, yeah, I was born.
It was the biggest.
I was
thing
born
in
the
the
90s. I was born in the 90s, so this was not my period of time. Like this, would have never come across my desk.
Wait, so this is a fictional character?
Yeah.
No, he's a real guy. Look him up.
He's a real guy, but he has written.
Dragon knew who he was.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah, he's real, but he's a novelist.
Yeah.
Novelist who wrote. Yeah. Is this something you guys don't want to be talked about on your show? Is that what I'm getting? Like
I just
don't think we have much input because
I don't know anything about this person, and I also am sort of confused about like what topic you want to talk about beyond like, he just hung up. Okay, whatever. I had no idea what he was talking about. That was so confusing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just realizing the pronouns that Michelle gave were she, her. I'm sorry. That is terrible. I did not realize that.
I didn't know what was going on. I don't know that character.
I also
Or that
really
person, sorry. I don't know. I'm so
I really
confused.
fucking hate when people in the chat go, "How do you even know who this person is?" I don't know. Like, what do you mean? I'm 32. At what point in my life did I say, what book in the 90s about fuck ass theology? Like, when would I have done that? Like, I'm happy that you guys all found something that was interesting to you, but to talk about it like everyone would know who that is, like, what are you talking about? Most famous person in the last 50 years? Well, apparently not. Never heard of him in my life.
I am so confused because when I keep looking up, oh my gosh, was I looking up the wrong person because someone said the wrong name in chat this whole time? What's the person's name?
Salman, Salman, Rush. It's spelled Rush Die. Why?
That's why I looked up the wrong thing. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Okay, someone said a different name and it was literally a DC comic book character. And I think they were like being funny, like this is like, I don't know who that is, but I know who this is.
Wait,
And
what
so
did
when I
you
was-
look up? I want to know what you looked up.
I'm trying to find it now. Solomon Grundy.
Oh, that's funny.
It was like, why is everyone so upset? I don't know who this comic book character villain is.
No, okay. The chats that are going, please learn some history. Alyssa knows zero.
I didn't know who this person was either. Sorry
I'm
to
this
offend
close
y'all.
to leaving chewed gum if you don't stop that. Sorry. Don't make me be mean. Don't make me be mean in response to you all saying shit like that, because I will be mean if you don't cut it out. Sometimes
What's wrong with y'all?
Sometimes the chat is your biggest fucking op. Like,
No, truly, it'd be your own chat.
who cares about like, please, like, this is just so born on a Monday is the chat right now. You guys fucking suck when you do stuff like this. It's just so
Also, this guy's
rude.
like almost 80 years old.
He's fucking 78. He wrote books when I was born.
I also feel like okay, so he's I don't know. I don't understand anything. Okay. Anyways,
that is so crazy. Like, now people in chat are telling me to be mean, and honestly, like, the thought that I had when there were multiple people in the chat who are saying that, how do you not know who this person is? You obviously have zero information, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I had a life. I was doing other things. I was not reading this man's stuff when I was a child.
Yeah. And there's also like when you're talking about theology, religion, whatever, there are so many people you could read up on or know about, or like, it's just it's so vast, and I don't think people recognize that at all. That
like,
I don't know.
What Alyssa Nguyen said he was only on his second novel when I was born in 1981. Relax,
guys.
I'm supposed to know everything about everything? Christ on a cracker. Y'all piss me off sometimes. Anyway, it's so early into the show to make me mad, y'all.
Yeah, what the fuck, guys?
Anyway. Okay. Well, let's see, what do we have in here? Should we take maybe the second call that we have in here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good sort of like middle of the road situation and interesting conversation. Okay. I'm going to pull in Jay, who's calling from Texas.
Hey.
Hi, Jay. How's it going?
Alrighty. Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on. So, I was a little confused because I thought that I would have to talk on a subject that it shows on the live here on the video, but there have been other times whenever I've been wanting to talk on a different subject, but I think maybe like I saw the moderators or the person on the video be like, well, right now this is a subject. If you disagree with it, if not, then call back or whatever. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay. I do have like some comment on this subject here that it says women thrive without God.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought when I read that, I thought that perhaps that could probably be perspective, maybe somebody's opinion, the same way as when we say, hey, you're rich or that person's rich. And that depends on the person's point of view of what being rich is, whether we're talking about money or about health and family, even though they're poor, right? Wouldn't that kind of be similar, that if somebody has good experiences and they're religious and they attribute that to help from their God, that they can say, hey, I thrived with God because of God, and somebody else who doesn't believe could, take it on themselves and be like, well, it's my works, it's my doing. There's no God, or I didn't pray to God. So would that kind of make sense? Is that kind of true, or does it have to be one or the other in reality? Like, no, you can't prove God, so you're thriving without God, even if you choose to feel better or believe that it's God or many gods or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I do think there's some level of it that is perspective, but I even think about the people who are enjoying their religion. Like, for instance, my mom goes to Bible study, and she goes to one specifically for women. And so if she were to have this question posed to her, she would say, well, like, it brings value to my life. But in my opinion, it even though she feels that way, it knowing that you have to have some level of cognitive dissonance to be able to believe that. Like, you have to pick and choose the parts of the stories that work for you and the parts that don't, and then you still are, overall, you're still supporting a organization that does a lot of harm to people. So while, yeah, like, I'm sure there are people who get value from their religion, I think as a whole, even if you are getting value from it, it requires you completely ignoring and dismissing parts of the religion that are real, that are there, and in order to enjoy it. Taylor, what do you think?
I think it's kind of hard to say, but I will say I think a contributing factor is a lot of times they indoctrinate girls at a young age when it comes to telling them what will fulfill them and what will make them happy and what their purpose is. So I think a lot of times they feel like their options are limited because they're being told, a lot of them are being told to grow God's kingdom, aka have a lot of kids, serve their husband, and that's what will fulfill them and stuff. So it's hard to say how much of their happiness is them believing that like that is the only thing that could bring them happiness and purpose. And like Alyssa, when you talk about your mom and the Bible study thing, I definitely think it's like community that people benefit from the most. And I've seen that happen with one of my parents, where their Bible study group really showed up for them during the hardest parts of their life. And it was really like an amazing thing to see. It was very touching, but it really doesn't take away from the overall like harm it causes. Like, I can't sit here and say, Christian women aren't happy or something like that, but I think a lot of it has to do with an indoctrination and being told to be happy with less, or being happy with only one path in life. I have a hard time believing that everyone that is indoctrinated into that is like, that is the only thing that would make them happy. There's so many different people out in the world, so many different personalities, that even if they all said they were happy, I don't think it's like possible. I think there's probably way more people out there who if they're given a choice or told something else, they would be happier in that way. But I don't know. It's like hard, like I can't really speak for other people, but that's how I view it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, definitely. Now this, I found it interesting how you had mentioned, that about what they're indoctrinated, and that's true. I see that quite a bit. I know that I used to believe, that the whole Bible was true and everything when I was growing up. And recently, I started to doubt that more and things like that. But I guess I know it's cherry picking. I'm not gonna pronounce it wrong. Cherry picking, like Trump is China. Freaking Trump. And anyways, cherry picking. Like the parts you like or the parts that are helpful. And I think on one of the videos I saw Matt say something, and I think Promise said it later. I don't know if he made it up or he heard someone else or whatever about that he could have done just as good without, the Bible, without the moral things that religious people say are in the Bible, that you need God, that he started all that stuff about morality, that, he'd be fine, or he could have figured it out or something with human experience, right? With saying, this is not good to do to others. I wouldn't want that to do to me, that he doesn't need a holy book or a God to have told him that, to experience that and learn that. And so to cherry pick, goodness, cherry pick the good parts of some religious text, if it helps, as long as, you don't take the whole other parts that are evil, as long as you're not hurting somebody else directly or damaging property, that perhaps might be helpful and okay, as long as, you're not causing wars because of it. Because, since it does say, treat others like you want to be treated, right? Love your neighbor, all that good stuff. And then you're just picking those. Well, does that make those bad or that half of the Bible bad? Because growing up, where I grew up, I started to think when Matt said that, I'm like, that's true. Could I have done that as well? If I had not grown up in this religion, could I have figured out on my own the correct things and the proper things to do to others and what not to do? And the more I thought about it, I thought, I'm not sure, because all I know is what I grew up with. And I grew up hearing these positive things about Jesus and all that. I didn't really grow up hearing too much about the ancient Old Testament and genocides and everything, And so I'm like, I don't know if I could prove, or how would Matt be able to prove that, hey, if there was never anybody written anything about the Bible, and you grow up on your own, and then other people come along, how do you know that you don't need someone to tell you, hey, I've seen this happen, you shouldn't do this, or you should do that? You would figure it out when there's people who, obviously to us, it's not right to hurt others, to kill others, or to rob, but yet they still do it. Why haven't they figured it out?
Well,
and
I
even
think
some in religions, they still do that. Go ahead.
I think, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I think I understand what you're saying, and we have a lot of people who are theists who call in and will say that the reason why the Bible is beneficial is because the Ten Commandments are a way to give people morals and ethics. And they'll ask us as atheists, how do you know what's right and what's wrong? And a lot of the time, the answer that we have is like, I don't really think that you need a Bible to tell you not to steal, not to kill people, because we know that there are people who are, religious and do those things. So I don't think that it makes that much of a difference. And I had this really interesting experience personally when I deconstructed, and then I was reminded of it because I saw someone else randomly on TikTok talking about this. And when I was participating in the faith, I was really, really scared of like demons, getting possessed, evil. Like I couldn't, like if I watched even a commercial for a movie where that was involved, I would have nightmares for days and days and days. Like I just couldn't handle it. It scared me so much. And I saw a friend when I was young made me watch a horror movie and a girl gets possessed and that girl was very religious. And so that scared me even more because I was like, oh my God, it doesn't matter how religious you are or how often you're praying, they can get you anyway. So I had this really intense fear. And then over time, as I got older and I started to feel more disconnected to Christianity, I started to feel like, okay, well, if the God stuff doesn't feel real to me anymore, then why would all of the evil stuff be real to me? And the second that I stopped believing in it, it felt like 10,000 pounds got lifted from me and I didn't carry the fear anymore either. And nothing has happened. Everything is fine. You know, so
Yeah.
there's this weird part of it too, where like even for someone like my mom, who I think generally it's a net positive for her, like she has the community and I think that it gives her some depth to some parts of her life. Like there are parts of her experience of life that will have fear in it that like I don't experience. Like it just doesn't really affect me so much.
Also, there are people out there where typically when they act like the reason, well, like we get all of our morality from God, and then I ask them if that's the only thing stopping them from, murdering or assaulting somebody. They normally say no, and I think they recognize that. But there are some people who have told me that the only reason basically they try to be a good person is because of the fear of God and stuff. I don't know if I should believe them or not. I'm sure there are some people out there like that, but it's hard for me to say. But I feel like if you do need that, I'm scared of you anyway.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's interesting. Yeah, that is something too that was kind of confusing to me whenever, the more we studied, the more depth into it, where, I heard quite a bit too that, well, God will protect you, but people still suffer when when they're fully religious. Well, the devil's going to attack you more than that's why you just got to endure. So either way, you're being attacked whether you follow God or not. So that didn't make sense to me too. Like, so if I don't follow God, I'm going to have a terrible experience. Or if I follow God, I'm still going to have a terrible experience. I guess the thing was for the next life, I guess, or I don't know. But yeah, that didn't make much sense in that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I think that's a reason a lot of people talk about how religion impacted their OCD or OCD tendencies, because it puts like I think a lot of paranoia in people's brains when it comes to there always being some kind of perceived enemy that is right around the corner at all times. And then this idea of, am I really saved? Am I really protected? Blah, 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 blah. And it makes so much sense to me when I started hearing people tell me about how it impacted their OCD. There's actually a specific word for it, and I can't remember it now. But it makes a lot of sense because there's just like a ton of paranoia surrounding all of those teachings.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't know how. I haven't really seen much of on your videos of the person behind the camera. I've heard her voice. I know the voice. I can't remember the name, but if they, I'm sorry, she, I think, right, has comment on that or an opinion, that would be interesting to see their take on that. Who's behind the camera that's there with you? Because I heard another voice that on the previous caller, I think, or between the previous caller, besides the L2.
I think I missed the last part that was said.
Oh yeah, Jay, are you still there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm still here.
We missed the very last part of what you had said there. Do you mind repeating that?
Sure. And I think there's at least like a third person right there with you, right behind like the camera. I heard the voice. I don't remember the name.
Are
Oh.
we talking about me all of a sudden? Wait,
oh,
what?
Lux. Yeah.
Right. Lux, yes, Lux. All of a sudden, that's right. Do you have any opinion or comments on like what we've been discussing? I hardly ever hear the person behind the camera speak usually, but I'd be interested if you have something.
I'm
to
producing.
that.
I'm not supposed to have opinions right now. I was reading our emails, our company emails. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, if you're busy, yeah, no, that's fine. I won't take you away from what you have to do. That's cool. Yeah.
Well, thanks.
That's one thing too that I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say thanks for calling.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for having me. It was fun, very interesting. I'm very impressed how much info and how much knowledge and articulate y'all can be. So very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you
That's
very much.
really nice. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a good one.
You too. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Wow, it's really nice to be called intelligent and knowledgeable after we got fucking roasted in the chat earlier.
Jay is so nice. I was confused when he kept saying someone behind the camera. I was like,
Yeah,
what are
me
we
too. Me
What are we
too.
talking about?
Yeah,
But
I'm
that
in both
makes
of
so
your
much more
houses. I'm
sense.
filming both of you.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, I was super confused. Okay, that made more sense.
That was a nice call.
Yeah,
And
that's sweet.
in the chat, people were talking about some horror movies. Because I'd said that horror movie, like I
Was it the
literally
Blair
couldn't sleep
Witch
for days.
Project or what was it?
No, it was The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh, okay.
It was so scary to me, but I was in the 5th grade. So I don't know if I would still think it's scary, but
One movie that that's like an older movie that I watched within the past couple years is like Witch. I think it's just called Witch or The Witch. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
With like that
Which
goat
one's
named
Witch?
Philip.
Yeah. Oh my, wait, can I tell you a story about the witch real quick?
Yes.
Because one of my friends had a birthday, and for her birthday every year, she rents out a house, and all of us stay in the house with her. And her favorite game to play is Sardines, which is basically reverse hide and seek.
Yeah. No,
Did I tell you about this?
Yeah, a little bit. Were you? Yeah. I think so.
So one person hides and everyone looks for the person. And she likes to play it at night with the lights off. And when we played like a month ago for her birthday, she played the soundtrack of The Witch.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember what sound. That was so funny to me
It
though,
was so
because
scary.
it probably does get your heart rate up for no good reason. Like it makes it so real. No, the part that horrified me in that movie was the one boy, oh, spoiler alert, I mean, this movie is so old, is like dying and he's like seeing, I guess, the Christian God. It creeped me the fuck out.
Ew,
it was so weird. Do you know what, like, you remember what scene I'm talking about where he's like, it's like he's getting super excited and like seeing God, I guess, and then he like died. Ugh. It was just so creepy. It was so creepy.
Yeah.
It made me feel like going to heaven and seeing the Christian God is like a horror movie. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
like a scene out of a horror movie. It's really creepy.
I have to actually send you the TikTok of the girl who reminded me of like when I stopped believing, not being scared anymore. Because it's like, you know, take part of it with a grain of salt, because it sounds like she still is a theist, but it was interesting because she was like, when I think about Christianity, it feels like if there was going to be a devil, what he would do is make himself an idol. And
yeah.
Did you see that?
I heard this somewhere. I don't know if you said it or no, I definitely have seen this. I think I've seen it. Was it a clip or like a full video?
It was just a TikTok, like she was just talking to the camera about it.
I definitely saw that where she basically he would put himself in God's spot.
Yes.
And like convince people to I did see that.
Yeah.
Well,
so
isn't there I swear in the is it the Gospel of Judas or whatever that didn't make it in the Bible said something like that, where it was like in that book, I could be wrong, you guys can fact check me, in the book Jesus like laughs at them and says that they've been worshiping the wrong god the whole time.
Taylor, I have full body chills. I'm so scared.
I think that's a great premise for a horror movie, for real.
No,
Someone needs to do that.
Someone needs to make it. Someone needs to make it. And the fact that it scared me also is like deep Christianity in my cells still being like so scary.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, it runs so deep.
Yeah,
I feel like it's in your like freaking DNA that they put fear in there, and it's hard to get rid of it completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's so crazy.
Creepy as hell.
Okay, so before we take more calls, I want to read. I'm looking at the schedule and it just has like on today, it says Alyssa Taylor, and it was clearly written by someone who was like having to write with a marker digitally, but like with the trackpad, because it's the craziest looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I made that last night for the host last night.
So it's so funny. But tomorrow we have the hang up with Matt Dillahunty and Taylor, who will be co-hosting.
Yay! I'm scared.
Yeah, girl. Exciting.
I'm thinking of that meme where that like little person's on the bus and they're like, "Hey, I'm scared," or something like that. That's how I feel.
No, you're gonna be so great. Matt is very easy to co-host with, and it's also nice because you can kind of like. You can be sort of like baby girled out in the whole situation because like if there's anyone who needs to be like called out or like he's ready to like.
I'm also afraid I'm gonna laugh every time he gets mean, because sometimes I get in this like really weird giggly mood where I literally can't stop.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I'm not just like losing my mind when he's like reaming someone out. But I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Great. You'll be great. And sometimes those people do need to be laughed at. So
true. That's facts.
On Thursday, we have TACIS with Ben and Luxander. On Friday, I don't think we're doing anything on Friday at this time. On Saturday, TBD a new show. So that's interesting and exciting. And I won't say anything more about that because it's still TBD. On Sunday, we have the Sunday show during the day with Matt and Austin Archer. And then in the evening, we have Eric and Forrest, who will be doing the Sunday show at night. And then we're back with Skeptalk on Monday with Forrest and Aaron, and then we're back next week.
Someone mentioned this that I forgot about. They are making like a horror movie based on Jesus or Jesus adjacent with what's his name? Oh my gosh, Nicolas Cage.
Really?
You and I both have to watch it at some point, so then we'll be able to talk about it, because like I don't know when it comes out. But I know I'm going to see that shit because it's going to be weird. And the fact that Nicolas Cage is in it is so fucking funny. At first, I thought that he was playing Jesus, and I was like, hell yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then I realized he's playing Joseph, but still.
Well, still. Wow. Yeah, they really should do... they should do a horror movie where it's flipped like that. And we had no idea. Oh, God,
it'd be so good.
Also... Thank you, Calasia. I hope I'm saying your name right, for sending links and stuff and being a wonderful mod in the chat always. But sending the links reminded me in that little Hoobie link that was just sent in the chat, there is a link to send me questions, and you can send them anonymously. And I'll be filming for a very long time tomorrow. And I'll be answering questions about like relationships, sexuality. I'll put probably the sexy stuff on Patreon because YouTube will kick me out of their whole platform. But if you are a person who like wanted to coach with me at some point and like have a financial barrier or a time barrier, or maybe you're nervous or whatever, that's a really great place to like, you could type quite a bit into that form. So,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so make sure you get some questions in because I will be answering them tomorrow. All right. Is there anything else before we take our next call?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we do have We have two atheists and two theists. So we always prioritize our theists. So maybe we take this one at the bottom there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. We're going to pull in Mark, who is calling from India.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm fine. So I was listening to you and I had a question which I wanted to ask.
Sure.
Sure.
So my question is that what actually is the standard of morality for an atheist? And is it the same for everyone or is it different?
I don't think there's a standard for morality for atheists. I think a lot of atheists, there are a lot of atheists, I think, in certain communities that would be more humanist or consider themselves more humanist, but there's no standard for all atheists of where their morality comes from or what their morals are supposed to be, because there's progressive atheists, there's conservative atheists, there are asshole atheists, there are nice atheists. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if I had to ask you, then what is the standard of morality for you? How do you judge between good and bad?
I use information that I've learned and my experience, and I try to apply it best I can, I feel. So if there's something that I think is hurting certain groups of people or is benefiting or not benefiting society, I think that I take all of that into account when thinking of my morality, and also just the basic of what would I want done to me, the golden rule that's existed in the Bible and in Hinduism and in a bunch of other teachings. I mean, it's that way for a reason. I think that's a universal thing, and it's something really easy for people to do. Is, would I want this done to me? Would I want would I be okay with it, type thing? So I think a lot of us, I mean, that's really simplified, but
yeah. So I think that your answer is it is your own thinking. You would base your morality on your thinking and your common sense, right?
Yeah, I say my own thinking, but also I think society probably has impacts as well. Not probably, it does.
Okay. So is it, would you put in more weightage to your own thinking or the society? Is it you that decides or the society that decides for you what's good and bad? Because all human beings are different and every human being has his own thinking. So whose thinking is considered to be right or accurate?
I think, Mark, there's part of it is going to be whatever will do the least amount of harm to people is what people will mostly want to do. Ultimately, all of the 10 commandments, the good ones at least, are all about not harming other people. And if you can be available to be actively loving to other people, that's also really beautiful and a really wonderful thing to do too. And so I think that is probably the motive for a lot of people, is to not do very much harm and to be as loving as you possibly can be. Yeah. So, and when you even think about even think about the legal system, wherever we live, most of the time, that's kind of what they're going for, optimistically.
Okay. So the society as a whole is mostly correct in terms of deciding what's good and bad.
I think generally we know what's good and what's bad. Yeah, I would say so.
But see, the problem is that even Hitler thought that he was good. What he was doing was good. Even Stalin thought what he was doing was good. But in actual,
but
they were not good.
But as a whole, as a society, we can agree that unanimously, we can agree that those people are not good.
Also, do we know for a fact that Hitler actually thought he was doing something really good?
He considered to be good. He considered himself good. If not, then why would he do all these things?
Because he
Why would he
wanted
consider
to?
himself bad?
I think he just wanted to, and I have a hard time deciphering if he really thought it was good or he tried to make it seem good to other people so he could have done what he wanted to
But the
do.
problem is, but would you agree that society as a whole, like it is the society that distinguishes good and bad? The society decides what's good and bad?
I think that
well, there's no like objective like good and bad in my mind, so I don't know how to really answer that question. I think a lot of times as societies progress, if things go like the way a lot of people want it to go, is we'll learn what benefits society the most and what is most important to our society and what isn't, or what harms it more, things like that. I don't know. It's hard.
So the
It's not black and white.
the problem is that in history there have been societies which in majority have agreed upon things which have been harmful. Like for example, let me give you an example. In India, till the 18th century, there was a rule which was accepted by the society as a whole. They used to burn the female after her husband got when her husband died. The female used to get burned. It was sati. So the Hindu society, India as a whole, as a society, had this thing, and they thought it to be good. So this is an example where the society as a whole is wrong. Do you agree with that? The Indian society at that time was right or wrong?
so. I think that is, of course,
But they
wrong.
thought
Like
it
you
to be
can't
right.
you can't be
But they
like burning
thought,
people
it
alive.
to be right.
But at the same time, if the inverse is that religion is supposed to be helpful, we see religion harm people all the time,
No.
and we see people harm on behalf of religion.
Just give me a second. We are not talking about the theist mindset. We are not talking about any religion right now. I'm just trying to understand the morality of an atheist. Like for example, if you say that it is the common sense of a man or a thinking of an individual person, then my answer would be that there are 7 billion people on earth. Every person has his own thinking, has his own common sense. Is it the common sense of Hitler or Stalin? Is it the common sense
Morality.
of Afghani or a United? If common sense was so common, then we would not have so many wars on the planet Earth. Billions and millions of people have died because the common sense is not that common. So
Yeah, but
the
I
common
think
sense
you
cannot
also-
be the answer.
I think
And
what I'm
moreover, society,
arguing.
if we
I think what-
we talk about the society, if we talk about the society, like for example, let me give you another example.
Wait,
Let's take
hold
the
on,
example
Mark,
of
hold on
gay
for a
marriages.
second. I want to say this really quick.
Okay.
I also think
Okay.
I also think our morality evolves. I think that it's evolved. I think
Okay.
it's evolving all the time, every day, for individuals and for society. But I think where we're gonna have a disagreement is there is no black and white like you want it to be, but also if people want society to thrive, the people who do want society to thrive and they want to help like as many people as they can, I think that our morality will continue to evolve into something that benefits the majority, like that helps not just the majority, but you know what I mean, that does the least amount of harm, that gives people the rights they feel like they should have, the freedoms they should have. It is, I feel like in a lot of these conversations, people do just want like absolutes and they want black and white answers, but the fact is it's not that way. It's like a nuanced conversation that we could talk about for hours.
According to you, there is no objective evil or something bad, objective bad. Like for example, if I had to ask you, is rape good or bad? What would be your answer?
I think that the common person would say it's bad because we have empathy as a species. Like us as a species, we value empathy. If I were to say something like that was objectively bad, I think that would require some kind of higher being like saying this is bad or this is good. And I just I don't believe in any higher being saying that to us or giving us.
No, but like for example, if tomorrow the society says rape is good, would you consider it to be good then? Because
no,
you said that our morality keeps on evolving.
Okay.
But Mark, also the measure of whether something is good or bad is it doing harm to someone else? Like,
Okay.
are we minimizing the amount of harm that we can
Okay,
impose
so
on other people? But the other thing too is I think the point I'm trying to make is atheism and theism are not directly connected to someone making
yeah, that's
good
right.
or bad choices. Like there are like Hitler, for example, was not an atheist. He believed in God, and yet he committed these terrible atrocities. Stalin
Yeah,
was an atheist. So like it's
was
just
an
it
atheist.
has
Yeah.
nothing to do with people's choices. And like, I'm sure you see like there are people who commit horrid crimes, sometimes in the name of their God, in the name of their religion, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's like it wasn't because of their religion, but they are people of faith and they still do terrible things. So it's not directly related enough to really even to like, so basically the standard of morality as
Yeah.
an atheist is to do as little harm as possible and to also contribute good, love, caring, and empathy
Okay.
towards people as well.
Yeah. See, okay, so now, for example, if we take into account the factor of harm, okay, so it is the harm. If there is no harm, then there is no like bad in it, okay? So, for example, if we take into account harm, then let's take the example of incest. Is incest good or bad?
Bad, because you are,
Why?
well, actually,
A lot of people have decided incest isn't something that we should allow because it would cause serious harm if they were to
Yeah.
have offspring.
yeah, that's the problem. If there's a
But
possibility
for
of
example, if there's a couple, if for example, if someone has incest and he says that okay, I do not need offsprings and I'm going to use protection and I'm going to use all kind of things to avoid offsprings. So if you remove that thing, is it good or bad then?
How would we regulate
it's neutral. It's neutral. It doesn't mean one thing or another. If people are having sex with each other and they are not creating any offspring,
And
Then it's good.
Also, Mark,
it's neutral. It's not good or bad. If it's not good or bad. If it's consensual and they are both adults,
then it's good.
And there's no offspring, it's not inherently bad.
Also, Mark, I think you're forgetting. I think you're forgetting about the fact that a lot of times an incestuous relationship would cause harm either way because of the power dynamics within the family. So, like, if an older brother is having sex with his little sister, that power dynamic is harmful because he has an influence over her and has had access to her his whole life. Things like that. It's impossible, in my opinion, to have an incestuous relationship that there isn't some kind of power imbalance. Do you agree with that? So I think it will always cause harm.
It's a straight question. See, it's a straight question. The first factor that you came up with was offsprings. I said that let us take that point out. I
gave an example of why I still think it's harmful.
I told you they are twins. Like, for example, they are twin brothers. They want to have sex. So those two brothers of equal age, they want to have sex. Is it good or bad? Simple as that. There are two options, good or bad.
It's neutral. It doesn't matter because ultimately, if here's the thing, I don't know that much about what incest does to you psychologically. If there is a psychological effect to the exact situation that you're talking about, then yes, but then it is potentially bad because it is causing harm to the two people involved. But if psychologically, stop interrupting me. if psychologically these two twin brothers have found a way to not be psychologically affected by doing this, it is neutral. It's not good or bad.
Okay,
it just is. And the only person who's deciding otherwise is you, because you're deciding to place judgment on a situation that has nothing to do with you.
Okay. So what about those states? What about those states throughout the world, or the majority that considers incest to be a crime? a heinous crime.
The reason why they consider it to be a crime is because the risk of the power dynamic is extremely high, and the risk of the potential offspring is extremely high, and those are not risks that people are willing to take.
So they consider it to be
And the
bad.
vast,
What
and the
is the
vast
judgment upon
majority
them?
of people, the vast majority of people who want to engage in incest. This is also, by the way, a ridiculous outskirts conversation, but the vast majority of people who want to engage in incest are not twin brothers who are exactly the same age.
Okay. So earlier you said it was bad, then you said it is neutral, and then you people are not sure about it. So
No, you're
is,
giving specifics for a situation. So in the situation of twin brothers who are exactly the same age, and there's also no risk of offspring, that's a completely different situation. The vast majority of times that you are seeing an incest situation, that is not the case.
Okay, so according to you, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Mark, you keep on making.
No, I said
first
neutral.
You start off
neutral, not good.
You start off with a situation, and then when we give you an answer as to why we think it causes harm, you make these circumstances like less and less likely, like more and more specific. And I would argue.
So please give me
even
like for example, like
hold on, Mark.
I want to understand your point of view.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I would still argue that if they were twin brothers, there probably is still some kind of weird power dynamic going on, because families just have that. I don't like, and I just don't understand I don't know. Like maybe some people wouldn't care about that, but I think as a society, the whole reason we have laws surrounding that is because, let's be honest, most of the incestuous relationships that happen are between a father abusing his daughter or something like that. So yeah, there's gonna be laws surrounding that, and you can't regulate if people have kids or not. You can't stop them from having kids. So like if they're in a relationship, so it's pretty obvious as to why there are laws surrounding it.
Okay, so according to, I want to understand your point. I'm not arguing with you. I just want to have your point of view. According to you, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you do not have a definite answer for it.
Well, it goes back to the original principle, which is if there is harm being done to that person or others, then we have something to look at. If there is
and if there is no harm, then it's okay.
If there's no harm being done, it's a consensual situation, then it is morally at a minimum, it's morally neutral.
It's morally neutral. So these things shock me a lot. Because like for me, an atheist is completely confused and he does not have a definite
I'm not confused.
I'm
consistent.
It's also called nuance, Mark. Yeah, I told you called gray areas as well.
Yes. I told you what the grounding belief is, which is doing as minimal harm as possible and doing good where you can. That's exactly what I'm using right now.
And I also want to say, really quick. 1 second. I also want to say that I'm not saying incest is a gray area, but you keep on talking about like, oh, it needs to be absolute in one way or another, and real life isn't like that. So a lot of times atheists aren't afraid to recognize that there's a ton of nuance and there's a ton of gray area, because that is how real life is. And it sounds good on paper to be like, this is always wrong, this is always right, but the matter of the fact is that's not real life. So you do this thing where you're acting like eventually we're going to have to say that something is giving us objective wrong and right, and we don't believe that. So I don't know why you're shocked.
Okay,
you say you're shocked.
Here's the question.
What?
Here you land in a much bigger problem, and the problem is, like, for example, if you have a state, you need to have a law. You need to have goods and bad. If you are running a country and you have to make a law, according to your law, or a state in which there are only atheists, the atheist, what is the standard for them to consider
it's
something
the same
good or
one.
bad?
It's the same thing.
What will be
the
the
net
judgment
harm.
about incest?
It's the same thing. It's the net harm. So when it comes to something like incest, we make that, we regulate that because the risk is too high, because 99.9% of the time, it's not twin brothers. It is almost always something else. And the something else is an important detail. The other part of it too, Mark, is we have a legal system, which means that you are innocent until proven guilty, and everyone has a right to a fair trial. So that part of that is also, I mean, well, that's what it's supposed to be. We're in a very shitty situation with that right now. I'm sure you know. But that was the goal. Point? That was the goal. I didn't hear what you said because I'm talking and you interrupted, so I didn't hear what you said. So I'll give you a second to repeat it when I finish what I was going to say. That's the goal, and the purpose of that is so that we can look at nuance. That it isn't just even when someone murders someone else, and we are sure it is a open and closed case, we can tell, we know exactly what it is. Like Luigi Mangione, well, actually, I guess, I don't know, maybe we don't know, but there's CCTV footage of this person, and he basically admitted that he shot the United Healthcare guy. He still is going to sit and wait for a trial. We still do the trial because the nuance is important. It always is important.
I want to add something really quick I want to add something really quick. Lux brought up that, a lot of this stuff is about minimizing harm, not eliminating it. So we say stuff like, murder is generally wrong, right? Well, there's some situations where, let's say somebody kills somebody in self-defense or whatever. There will always be nuances in these situations. And I feel like you just don't like the gray areas. So I don't know what you want us to say.
Okay, so like, for example, all your discussion was around the factor of harm. If there is no harm, then there's no good or bad in it. Okay, so like, for example, let me give you an example. If a person has sex with a dead person, a dead body, there is no harm in it.
I knew.
So is it good or bad?
I would say that a lot of times it's harmful. You're not letting me answer. If you're going to ask me a question, let me answer. I would argue a lot of times that hurts the family members of the loved one because it affects them. Like, it impacts them. And if you really want to...
So there is a dead body in a jungle.
Really want to fuck a corpse, be my guest.
There is a dead body in a jungle.
I think a lot of people internally don't want to do that. That's like not I don't think a lot of people, I don't think that's the majority. I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't tell somebody that... I wouldn't tell somebody that fucking a corpse is so objectively wrong. I would say it's disgusting. I would say it's weird. Like, I don't...
Here's the thing too, Mark, and I don't know if you know this.
How is it disgusting?
Wait.
Because it's a dead body. It's a dead body. You can get shit from that, right? Like,
Mark, I muted you because I don't know why we can't get through a sentence without you interrupting, and I need to like explain something for a second. So I don't know if you know, I'm a sex educator. So the training that I have done is extensive in sex education and in positive sexuality, which is part of this whole like harm reduction thing. And I'm a firm believer in consent. And if it is a dead body, that body did not consent to the sex that is being had. Another part of it too is even when we revisit the conversation of incest, and it's actually interesting too, because the only examples that you seem to be able to give us are ones related to sex. It's all like, I don't know why you care so much about who everyone else is fucking. And that's the only way that you can find moral gray area, which, in part I understand because I have conversations about moral gray areas in sexuality all the time. I had to do an entire not that this is a moral gray area, I'll be explicit. This is not a moral gray area, but I've had to do training in things like pedophilia and like all types of sexuality because it's important that we know how to help people. But sexuality is the only thing that you feel has any charge behind a standard of morality. And I think that's really interesting. I'm going to unmute you right now. Hold on a sec. It takes a second. Okay, you're unmuted.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so let me pose my question. The thing was harm. The first thing is consent. The consent is always between two living beings. If there is no living being on the other end, then there is no question of consent. Okay, so this is the first point. The second point is harm. There is no harm in it, and moreover, a person has found a dead body in a jungle. His relatives are unaware of it. There is no harm.
If someone finds a dead body in the jungle,
there is
then
no
I'm
medical harm in
concerned.
it. Please, let me pose the question. Let me pose the question. The dead body gives no consent. There is no point of taking consent from a dead being. Okay, and moreover, his relatives are unaware. It's a dead body in a jungle. There is no harm in it.
Okay.
So is it morally
Diseases.
good
I'm so
or bad
sorry.
for a person
Diseases,
to have harmed a dead being?
exactly. You can't fuck a
Right,
dead body in the jungle and assume that there's no
exactly.
diseases in
Why?
it.
What's so wrong in it? What's so wrong in it?
Because
What's so
you
wrong
could
in it?
potentially, the
What's
person who
wrong
is having sex, the live person who is having sex could catch a disease. They could get sick, which means they could harm themselves.
Also, Mark, what if
He's
I
using
just
protection.
said, what if I just said it's
Oh
not about
my
morality? I
God.
just think he's disgusting and he's a freak. Like, how about that?
But who gives you the right to say that it's disgusting?
Me, because I'm allowed to have my own opinions. Because there is stuff all the time, Mark. No, there is stuff all the time, Mark, that society doesn't find acceptable for specific reasons. Like you recognize that, right?
Okay,
Like,
so
there's
if
nothing
a
morally
society
wrong
does-
with eating human shit, but if we saw somebody
Okay,
doing
okay.
it, we would think they're disgusting, right?
Give me a sec. You just said that there are things which societies do not accept. There are many societies in the world that do not accept gay marriage and consider it to be an immoral act. Would you then accept that thing?
No, because
That thing is causing harm.
For the people who are part of
see the
the
confusion
gay
that you people have?
community.
See
Mark,
the
let me answer
confusion
your
that you people
question.
have?
Mark, let me answer your question. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. For the people
But you
who are
believe in
in
Jesus
the
or
gay
not?
Mark, shut the fuck up. For real. Stop. I'm going to hang up on you. Let me answer your question. You yelled at us because you wanted to ask your question and we were trying to interject. Now stop.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay, for the gay community, we have statistics that show that when they are in environments where their rights are not being respected and where they are not able to live freely, their safety is at risk. So yes, that is morally wrong. And we are talking about what is best for the majority of people. So for the majority of people, other people being gay should not affect, actually, for anyone, for literally anyone. It doesn't affect other people. That's honestly a great example, because I would like to know why religion gets their hands in the affairs of gay people all the time. Y'all are obsessed with gay people. You think about
come back to the original question.
Mark, I want to address the original question really quick. There's a reason. Hold on. Yes, I know. That's what I'm talking about. So if we see somebody having sex with a dead body, the reason we find it unacceptable and we think it's disgusting is because when you are a human being who has empathy, your thought is not, there's a dead person, let me have sex with it. If you're a normal person and you have empathy and you value empathy, which is something a lot of people, that's something a lot of us share. That's what we base a lot of our progress in, or like our morality. You're gonna look at that person and be like, damn, I guess they don't have empathy. I guess their empathy's broken. That's a big reason for it. Just like basically everything else. It's not about, oh, it's harming a corpse. It's like, oh, you see this human. You're not listening to me. You see this human being as just something to fuck and you don't have empathy for them. That's a really weird reaction to seeing a dead body. Do you not agree?
But he's doing that sex. He's doing that sex in private. No one is looking at him. He's doing it in private. He's using protection. He's enjoying it.
Mark, hold on. You asked why people were disgusted by it and why wouldn't it be acceptable. And so I'm telling you, and then you pivot again and say that people aren't even seeing it. But you keep pivoting.
Because
also, Mark,
your argument was
this is
around
also
the
sort
factor
of
of harm.
This is also sort of like if a bear shits in the woods and no one's there to see it, did it shit in the woods? It's kind of that too.
No,
Like if this is a body that is sitting somewhere and no one knows that this is happening, then and this body has no relatives. It also has no diseases.
He's enjoying it.
You also, and the person who is having sex with them is psychologically sound, which I would assume that's not the case. Then I guess it's morally neutral. What you're making up this insane pie in the sky situation. It's so specific. It's the same thing with the twin brothers having sex. These are not situations that happen. Like, this is not real. So I'm not really interested in having a conversation with you about these situations that are so specific. This would never happen.
It says a lot that people who make this argument, only bring up these two things, because I knew exactly the argument you were going to make after the twin brothers. And if these are the only two very specific examples you can think of, don't you think your argument probably isn't very strong?
Can you just give me a second now?
Right. If normal everyday situations that happen literally every single day, if we can find a way, if we have the same ethos for the same reasoning, reducing harm, if that makes sense for literally every single situation aside from the most insane thing you could possibly think of, then I would say actually it's pretty consistent. It's pretty sound. And when there's a reason why when these very fringe things happen, this is when it goes to like a court and there's a lot of decisions made about it. There's no universal thing that's agreed upon because there is nuance. So this is like a ridiculous conversation. Did you listen to anything I just said, or did you only think about how you want to say something next?
Can you just give me a second?
Did you hear anything I just said?
Yeah, I heard you, but I want to make a point. I would just want to make a point. The reason why I gave this example was to debunk your initial point that was that it's not harm, the factor of harm.
No, it's not debunked.
Please,
it is not debunked.
I heard
it
you.
is not
just
debunked.
Give me a second to
it
make
is not
my
debunked.
Point.
It
just
is not
give
debunked.
Me a second.
It's literally not debunked.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me land. The thing was, you said that it is the factor of harm decides what's good and bad. I said that a person is having sex with a dead body. He's enjoying it. He's literally enjoying it. There is no harm in it because he's using protection. So now he is asking you, how is it disgusting? Because there is no harm in it.
I don't care. If there was a guarantee that person would not have any diseases afterwards, if there was a guarantee that it would not affect their psyche at all, and it was a guarantee that whoever that body is, if there's no relatives, no one knows who this person is, then I don't know. It's not good or bad. It's neutral. I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Mark, and
don't oh my god me. I'm talking about harm reduction. If no one is being harmed, then at a minimum, it is neutral. It is neutral. I'm not talking about good or bad. I'm talking about neutral.
Mark, hold on. Mark, I want to say something really quick. Stop.
Oh my God.
If a big part of what creates my morality is empathy, and I just told you how empathy plays a role in having sex with a corpse, why doesn't that make sense to you?
Empathy does not make sense because, for example, if a person does not have any empathy, then what will you do? There are many people in the world that do not have empathy.
Those are sociopaths.
There are many people in the world.
Those are sociopaths. Those are people who have a psychological disorder.
There's always going to be people who don't have empathy. Yeah. There's always the exception.
You cannot decide what's good or bad on the basis of empathy because there are many people in the world that do not have any empathy. The people who are killing innocent children.
When they make choices that hurt other people, then they have faced repercussions for that. We say that was a bad thing to do. You harmed somebody else, and they face repercussions for that.
Do you think that the people on Epstein's island had empathy?
Mark,
I don't know. Mark, I don't know.
How do you think? I have a real question for you. How do you think that empathy has helped our evolution? Do you even understand that?
No. No
No,
need to shift the argument because
No, no,
your,
no.
your
no, no,
points
You've
have
been
been
asking
debunked.
questions.
Your
You've
points have
been
been
asking
debunked.
questions.
No, 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 no,
You
no.
have been asking questions this entire time, and I've been giving you my sincere
Because-
answer. So answer the question
because-
so I can
Answer the
understand
question or
that
we're
you
ending
get
the
this.
call. Mark, answer the question
need
or
to
I'm ending
know-
the
question?
call.
What's the
I need
question?
to I need to know that you understand this. Okay, the question is what is the point of empathy in our evolution? Like how has empathy helped us in our evolution as human beings, as a species? What's the point of empathy?
What's the point of empathy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I really could not understand your question. Like, can you just make it simple for me?
Yeah, so as a species, we developed empathy, right? How has that benefited us? How has empathy benefited us? Or you don't think it's
See,
benefited us
now
at all?
let me answer that. Let me answer that. As far as empathy is concerned, empathy does play an important role in morality,
Mhm.
but empathy alone does not answers all the questions to morality. Empathy alone does not answers it because
Hey, you know what
just
is really
as I've
funny
given you
about the thing that you're
example-
saying right now is that it's not an answer to her fucking question, dude.
Hey, man, it's my answer. You like it, you keep it. You don't like it, you throw it, man. But it's my answer. Empathy alone does not answer the question to all the morality.
That was not.
Because
That
there
didn't
are many
answer.
people in the world that
there
do not
aren't-
have
answer
empathy.
her question.
There aren't a bunch of questions to morality to answer. We create morality. Only humans create morality.
No, we do
There
not.
is no God.
Theists do not.
Okay, well, that's where we're
Theists do not
fundamentally
create
going to
morality.
disagree. Is I think the
Basic-
entire reason there is morality is because we as a species developed morality because we developed empathy. That's it. Point blank, period. You cannot show me proof that morality comes from anywhere else. You just can't, Mark. You can have feelings about it. You can feel uncomfortable about the gray areas. You can feel uncomfortable that the world is complicated, but you cannot show me proof that empathy or things like morality comes from anywhere besides human beings, like as in
See,
being able to create a
the very
morality
fact-
system.
Okay. The very fact that empathy exists in human beings is the proof that God has put it inside you.
No, it's not. That's
Otherwise, who have
pathetic.
told
No,
you?
it's
it's
not.
not. That's
Otherwise-
pathetic.
otherwise-
That's not
it's
proof.
not.
Otherwise-
You're just pointing to something random
Otherwise-
and attributing
Was-
it to
Let
God.
me-
That is not proof.
let me
Was
make a
God
point.
being
Let me make a point.
empathetic when he asked
You're not making
a
one.
man to kill his son
Let
just
me-
for funsies, and then was like,
Let me make a
"Never
point.
mind."
No. No, I do not. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. So, but the thing is, the very fact that a human being has empathy inside him, he knows the basic instinct of a human being. A small child knows killing a person is wrong, lying is wrong. This
Yeah.
this thing inside a human being itself proves that God has put it inside him. Otherwise, who have taught him?
No.
No, it's
Does-
just
does he-
not. It's
You're
does he
just
just
learn
making
not.
that
it?
shit up.
Because
does he learn
before-
it inside the womb of his mother?
Wait,
Because
Mark, really quick. What if I say the whole, empathy is proof that a cosmic cat created it and put it inside of us? Now what? Which one of us
Cosmic
has
what?
more proof? I said, what if I told you
Cosmic
that empathy is proof that a cosmic cat created it and put it inside of us, our empathy? Now what?
Okay,
Who's
so-
right? Give me proof
So now,
that you're right.
hold on a second. Let me make the point. The thing is, the problem between the atheist and the theist is that someone has created it. Okay, so once you come
Answer
up
my
to the point of
question.
someone has created it, you become a theist. Now we can debate on the fact that who has created it. That's another question. The first question is someone has created it, yes or no? Who has created it is question number 2. We can come to that
Human
later.
beings. We have proof for nothing else, Mark. We only have proof that humans created our morality. That's it. And you might not like it,
If
but you
human
do
beings-
not have
if-
proof
if-
to the
if- if
contrary.
human beings, see. If human beings had created morality, then all the human beings on earth would be on same page with regards to each and every
No.
deed. They would know what's good or what's bad.
On what planet is that? That doesn't even make sense. We all, there are so many different, factors.
You said human beings have created
There
it.
are you're not listening, Mark. There are so many different factors that form our morality, that obviously there's going to be differences when it comes to where you are on the planet, what time period it is, what type of person you are. It's more complicated than this black and white system you want so badly that you can't prove just because you don't want to process nuance. You want to turn your brain off and just say, this bad, this good. That's not how the world works. And we only have proof that humans created morality. You can complain about it all day, but you do not have proof that morality or empathy came from a higher being. Period. That's it.
So it was a nice conversation. Now I have to go and pray. We can have a discussion next time. It was good talking to you. But let me just make one point before I go. The thing is that the standard of morality for an atheist, there is no standard of morality for an atheist, whether it be common sense.
Done with this conversation. No, that's ridiculous. We gave the standard of morality 800 fucking times. He didn't like the answer because it is sound. And I can't entertain it anymore. We spoke to him for 40 fucking minutes. He moved the goalpost 800 times. What are we even talking about?
I'm
fucking
glad-
a dead person in the woods, but they have no relatives. And this person has a magical ability to not get any diseases. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I'm glad that you dropped him because I was literally about to. I'm like, there's no way he's getting the last word after all that. There's no fucking way.
Not when it's going to be dishonest. No.
This conversation specifically makes me so irritated because, like I said, they can complain about how morality makes them uncomfortable and nuances make them uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, they have proof for nothing else. And it's like he won't address that. And I'm like, no, you have to at least, if you're gonna criticize morality that humans created and say it's so ridiculous and so wrong, then give me proof it came from somewhere else, dude.
Right.
And he can't.
Oh my
And that's
God.
it.
That was the second that he started with that same fucking shit again. I was like, oh, I can't. This is.
I don't know if it was him last time, but there's been plenty of people I've talked to that literally bring up the twins and the dead body. It's like the only thing they can think of. I knew he was gonna bring up the dead body. I just knew it.
Yeah, it's the same because the only way that they can find flaws in this is by giving the most ridiculous, fringe fucking shit you've ever heard in your life, something that could literally never exist.
Yeah.
I just can't. Why are like? If the only way that you can poke holes in our theory is talking about incest, specifically with two twin brothers that are having sex with each other, and necrophilia, but specifically with the person who has no relatives and was found in the jungle, then I think that we have a pretty airtight fucking theory.
That's so funny.
Holy fuck. Oh my God. Anyway.
You were so right, though, to point out that they always go with sex. Like, why are all of your weird, creepy examples about sex? It's so fucking odd.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and honestly, the truth is that because...
Just tell us you want to do some weird shit and move on.
It's also just so taboo that, like, you know, when we really think about, like, truly, if you think about, like, the twin, this would literally never happen. Twin brothers, same age, and they decide that they want to have sex with each other. If there is no psychological impact, which you would have to prove that to be the case. If there is no psychological impact, I could give a fuck what you do. I don't care. Like, if that's what you want to do, fine. But that's an answer that people aren't comfortable with and they don't want to hear because it is so out of the social norm. But in reality, like, they're consenting adults. There's no procreation involved. There's no diseases, hopefully, that are being spread. Like, in reality, I can't tell you that that's morally wrong. So, but people don't want to hear that. And that's why people always bring up sex stuff because the truth is we judge sexual situations so strongly that like there are going to be people even in our chat who are like open-minded people who will be like, Alyssa, that's disgusting. Did she just justify incest? And it's like, I'm just telling you it's morally neutral. Like if it's not harming anybody and we know that for a fact, it like.
Yeah, and even when I give him an example as to why human beings find it disgusting relating back to empathy, he didn't like that either.
Yeah.
Then he keeps making the situations more and more narrow until it's like, I don't, it's just so dumb. I'm over it.
We're also not trying to make
I
a
just
law that
can't.
says incest is illegal except when you're twin brothers. Like we do
Literally,
make
that's-
blanket laws like that.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I was saying earlier when I was like, well, they're like, well, what if they don't, reproduce? Okay, how are you gonna regulate that? Can you
Yeah.
explain that to me? How you're gonna like allow them to get married, but you're gonna stop them from having kids? Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
That is so crazy. A lot of people in the chat are like, that's enough internet for today. Mark like
Literally.
pushed them over the edge. Wait, I don't know why I always forget this. Are we done in 40 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like 6:30.
Okay, perfect. I always forget if it's 6 or 6:30 for some reason, and then I get to around this point, and I feel like I regularly have to check because I don't remember. Okay, great. Okay. I know that we normally prioritize theists, but do we want to take like a little break from them for a hot second?
Sure.
Okay. We have someone who called, like, it was our first caller, and I'm really interested in this conversation. So I'm going to pull in Emma. Hello, Emma.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. Yeah. Happy Trans Day of Visibility.
Oh my, I didn't even know it. Girl, what,
I saw that in the chat
Where
earlier.
am I? Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know. Wow. Did you celebrate today?
Yeah, I did.
Love. Oh,
I got
great.
all dressed up and showed everybody I'm here.
Yay. I love that. Good for you. Good for you. Thank you for holding for so long. Do you want to
Sure.
explain what you wanted to talk about today?
Yeah. I'm having mixed emotions because my best friend, who's really more like my sister, has finally found this amazing guy that just absolutely treats her like a princess. And I'm so happy for her. But at the same time, I'm so jealous because I don't have that. And I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah. Well, this is a tough thing because jealousy is so natural. Like we all deal with it in one way or another. Um, and there's like a difference between jealousy and envy. Like when you envy someone's situation, and I think what you're describing is probably more envy. When you envy someone, you you want what they have, but you don't want to take it away from them. You just want the same thing that they have. And when you're jealous of someone,
Yeah.
you want what they have so much so that you would want to take it away from them. And I think envy feels like a word that also lands differently, which is why I think like the separation between the two can sometimes be helpful. And so like, you know, you're envious of a situation that you're looking for, and that's totally understandable. And I don't think that you need to be hard on yourself for that.
Yeah. I think of it as also just the fear of being alone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really
Yeah.
like the main thing is it's not really about your best friend having the relationship so much as it is about, you know, now you're sort of coming face to face with this, maybe it was sort of in the back of your mind, but how Emma, how old are you?
I'm in my 50s.
Okay. Well, you know, there are plenty of people who find people in their 50s. Like it's really, there are people I will never forget as long as I live that there was a friend of mine whose sex coaching client was in their 80s and had her husband had passed, and so she had a boyfriend now. And you know, like the possibility is always going to be there. And it's hard though, because you have to have some level of like of stamina with it. You just have to keep putting yourself out there.
I also want to add that you should also like, I don't know. I feel like one thing people do when they try and make others feel better when they're feeling lonely is by saying, you have to love yourself first and like don't actually look for a partner and stuff. And I know I've heard that before in my life, and I feel like it's so unfair because life can be very lonely without a partner, especially if that's what you want. And our world is built as if you have to have a partner, essentially, when it comes to like finances and so many other things. And so it's really hard when the society you live in is literally built for two, and you have people telling you who do have partners that it's okay, like you should be happy alone. Like that stuff always irritated me because you're allowed to be sad, like you're allowed to be upset because people say this thing of, a partner won't make you happy if you're not happy alone first, which I think is kind of bullshit. And I don't think that, partners will fix everything. I don't think they're gonna like give you like all the purpose in the world. But a lot of times, people are happier when they have a partner to live life with. So I think that it's so valid that you have those feelings, and it can be really hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, my best friend tells me all the time that I'm going to find someone, that I'm too good a person to not find someone. And that, but I think where the issue comes in is she's cis, so she doesn't have to deal with the extra levels of yuck that I do. I've told her before, it's easy. I shouldn't say easy, but easier for a cis woman to date because they don't have to talk about what's, under their skirt.
Right.
And it's like either I say something and create that awkwardness, or I don't say something and then risk being beaten up or killed or God only knows what.
Yeah, I know. I think there's no real easy answer to this because you're right. And that's always the thing that I think is so crazy when people have to disclose being trans, because in no other situation would you ever have a conversation about like a body part like that.
So especially
it's
one that's so private.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think the best advice that I can give you is if you can find support through, do you have a community of other like trans folks around you?
Not around me. I'm on the south side of Chicago, which is not very queer friendly.
Yeah.
So
do you use like apps at all? Is it possible to set your radius to look somewhere outside of where you live, maybe where like it is more trans friendly?
I would have to go up to the north side, which is kind of hard for me because I'm without any kind of transportation. So
yeah, it's a tough situation.
I don't necessarily want to get stuck in like an online or something and just get further disconnected from people.
I think like there really is no easy solution. I would say if you can find online spaces for community to have support dating as a trans person, that can be really helpful so that you don't feel so isolated in your experience, because even like in the chat now, there are people who are trans and relating to your experience. And I think that it really is helpful to have other people be like, yeah, it's not fucking fair, because it really isn't. Like it's such a tough situation.
Also the chat and Lux mentioned an app called Lex. I don't know if you've heard of that or not, which is apparently a good app to use for dating.
What's it called again?
Lex.
Lex.
Next time we harmonize. Yeah, LEX.
I'll look into that.
Look into that.
I've done other apps before, and all I can find are like serious creeps. The last guy,
Yeah.
all he wanted to do was talk about having sex, and it's like, um, thanks, but there's more to a relationship than just getting busy.
Right.
You know, it's like I want the rest of it also, not just that.
Yeah.
Right.
And you
know.
should keep looking for that. Don't settle for any anything less than what you're looking for. And especially, not that I think that you would, because you've already now come across this. People who are just gonna like hypersexualize you is immediately a no. I also, someone in the chat, Alice and Dr. Pepper, thank you, said there's apps called Her and of course Field. So those might be other ones where you might have a different experience. But yeah, I think having really strong community is going to help you. And I also, and like, this is sort of advice that's kind of annoying to hear, but I really believe that when we can fill our lives with other things aside from looking for the relationship, it does make the time more enjoyable too. So like any way that you could do stuff that really brings you joy will at least make the time while you wait for your perfect person to come, because they will come. While you wait for that person to come your way, it's important that you still find joy in other things too, and don't get too down on this one, this one area, very important, but one area of your life. And keep trying. You just never know who's gonna like move into the neighborhood or whatever. Like you really never know. And yeah, recently I feel like I have the same conversations around people dating as I do. This is so stupid, but around people dating as I do around people who are trying to be famous. Because for people who want to be famous, there's a lot of people who are talented, and a lot of the time the people who make it are people who are either really, really lucky or they had really good stamina and they just kept going and they kept pushing. And I feel similarly weirdly about dating, where it's like the people who end up finding someone kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing, and they had stamina around it, like they built stamina around it. Or they just got really friggin' lucky. Like my best friend met her current husband when she was 16. And I was like, damn. She never had to download a dating app ever. I was like, wow. Could you imagine? I was a little bit mad about that too.
That would be wonderful, but
right? Some bitches have all the luck.
Considering when I was 16, I was in the seminary, I don't think that would have happened for me.
Oh my, okay,
man.
well, you had a journey then, Emma.
Yeah, I went through the seminary system here in Chicago.
Wow. Okay.
That's
I
crazy.
don't think they'll take me back now, though.
Probably not. Probably not. But it's always when people tell me things like that too, I always think like, girl, you've been through a lot of hard stuff as it is. It's like it's gonna take a little more stamina, but you've done harder things. Like you've done harder things and you can do this too. It's just gonna take a little time. And like in the interim, finding community support and also like doing those things, those really joyful things will be so helpful. And if you of course, like if you don't have a therapist and you have access to get one, that's also great if you can.
I have a therapist and a psychiatrist. I've got that part covered.
Ahead of the game.
Perfect.
Ahead of the game.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll say I think what you're feeling is so normal and like, so normal, so understandable. But don't let it get you down because, life is long and interesting and weird and interesting things are going to happen. And you never know how someone's going to end up coming across your desk. You just never know. You just have to do your best to like be open to it whenever it does come, maybe,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah. And also, maybe your friend's boyfriend, partner, has other friends. And that could also be helpful. See if they can ask around.
Well, she's on the opposite side of the state from me, so.
Shit. Okay, well, then maybe not that. Maybe not that.
Yeah. We're
Maybe not
long
that.
distance besties.
Oh, I have one of those too. My bestie is in New York right now, and I'm all the way in California. But see, you're doing so many. It stinks. It stinks. But you're doing so many hard things. Like you really are doing so many hard things. This is one last one that you'll build a little more like stamina around, um, and you'll find it will happen. You just got to give it time. And it's also, all of the dating apps right now are like a nightmare for everyone. It's just hard out there. It just is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like dragging the bottom of a lake.
Ugh. I hear that conversation all the time, like with my coaching clients too. It's like I hear often that people will message so many people and like not get a reply, or like it's just hard. It's just really hard.
Yeah.
But don't lose hope in the whole situation, because it's just going to be a little bit more stamina, unfortunately, until you find the person. And you just never know when it's going to come across. I don't know why come across your desk is the only way that I can think to phrase this, but and also try Lex, the app Lex, Lex, her, and Field. Those might be places where you can find like a different subset of people. Just be mindful that I don't know about the other two. Field is an app where like people will be engaging in like what they're interested in kink wise, and you just want to like tread a little carefully with that. Maybe some people are like weird and fetishy with trans people.
Yeah, no, I'm used to that. I've been on other queer focused sites, but the same thing.
Yeah,
the chasers know where to go to find us.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
So annoying. Well, and also, I don't know if you know, we also have TACIS on Thursday, and they might also
I've talked to them before.
Okay, great. Yeah. Like this would also be a great conversation for them too, because I wonder if they have other kinds of advice and guidance and support that they can offer you, speaking from experience too. But also, you're welcome to call here literally anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably also give them a call maybe in the next week or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should. You should. I think it's just honestly, sometimes it's helpful to just say this stuff out loud, and like it just helps with processing stuff, and also speaking to people who understand. Like sometimes this is a lesson that I will never forget as long as I live. When I was in college, I was seeing this guy who was always something, sick with something, not feeling well. I don't know. And every time he wasn't feeling well, it was like he would have gas and he'd be like, I don't know, I just think I need to stay home. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I at that time was very like problem solver all the time. I'd be like, okay, well, like if you have all of these things, surely you're doing something to fix it. And it would bother me that I was like, just go to a freaking doctor. Like your immune system sucks. You need to figure it out. Or like low fiber diet, something, figure it out. And at some point he was like, you realize I'm a grown man and like, I'm not asking you to fix the problem. Like I know how to fix the problem. I'm just like telling you, I just want to like share with you that I'm dealing with this thing. He's like, I don't need you to fix it.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, he really cooked me with that one. And I was like, shit. But truly, like, it just helps to air that stuff out and have someone on the other end just be like, yeah, it fucking sucks. That's the worst. So even if we can do that for you and like really truly empathize with how the dating apps are garbage a lot of the time and dating is really hard, you know, then we can do that with you anytime too.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Okay. All right, we're going to take one more call before we finish our show, but please call back anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Emma.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, love Emma. Would die for her.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
Again, someone in the chat takes 5 minutes to look up Salman Rushdie. I know. I looked him up. That's why I said he looked like an evil villain.
And I thought he was also an evil villain because I was looking up a comic book character that was an evil villain.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk about that man anymore. Thank you so much. Anyway, okay, so we can take one more call. Bonnie. Can you hear Bonnie barking?
No.
Okay, great.
No.
We can take one more call, and we have one caller who we can't take in 15 minutes. Like, there's no fucking way. The bottom two, do you have a preference?
Probably 2884.
Okay. Okay, cool. So we're gonna pull in Chris calling from California. Hello, Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you guys? Well, I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Good.
So, just clarification on the prompt. Are you guys saying that women thrive without God in general, or without, like, the Christian God? Or any God, or that can include Muslim, or the Abrahamic God, let's put it that way.
I feel like I mostly focus on any god that is patriarchal. So Abrahamic religions and any religion where the god is giving special privileges or power to men over women.
Got you. Okay, so then in that case, I don't really have much of an argument with that, because I think my whole argument was that if it's just any god in general, I don't know if I would agree with the prompt, because I feel like there's theist gods that could do good for a person that don't necessarily have like doctrines and stuff. It's just more about like just having a belief in something higher than yourself. And that thing could be really literally an undefined God. And I think to me personally, at least, that helps. And I think that can help anybody, women and men included.
How do you feel about it, Alyssa?
Well, I also think because our prompt is women thrive without God, and I think in that prompt, it's also kind of like, you know, not excluding. It's not exclusionary, so it's like women do thrive without God, and there are some that thrive with God, but there are certainly some that thrive without God, and I think what feels like it resonates with me most is like allowing people to have that option and know that if you grew up in a religious environment, you can leave the religion if it doesn't feel true to you anymore. And it's not going to be like an eternal damnation situation. Like there will be like plenty of community if you want to find it, and opportunities and all of the things. Like you're not going to be, you know, left high and dry.
I agree. I don't disagree with that. And again, my argument wouldn't exclude men or women. It would kind of be mutually inclusive. And it would just be that existentialism or any sort of like purpose that's self-derived. Ultimately, like you can thrive, sure, but ultimately it just kind of feels to me personally, at least, and I'm just going off my personal experience, ultimately it just kind of feels empty without having something like to appeal to that's kind of like cosmic and eternal. And however you define that is a different story, but just knowing that that's there and that can kind of hard to explain. It's a little bit more like just not living for something finite, like having the open possibility that there's more to all of this than dying and becoming dirt.
What do you feel like, and I'm asking you just like personally, not in like a debatey way. How do you feel like it enhances your life to have that belief? Like how does that show up for you?
So I don't have a defined belief as of yet. I'm kind of just, and part of this comes from like, okay, my worldview at the moment is trying to find the worldview that includes the least amount of brute facts, right? So obviously Christianity includes a heck of a lot of brute facts. Most religions include a lot of brute facts. I'm in the process of like trying to deep dive into Buddhism and Hinduism. I'm a very, 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 very new into all of that, so I'm like a beginner. Don't ask me any questions about it because I don't understand most of it yet. But I just want to see if there's basically the way it helps me is that like, okay, if I'm gonna die and become dirt and I have to prescribe meaning and purpose to all of this, then it's very easy to be like, well, okay, I don't give a crap. I'm just not gonna get out of bed then. You know what I mean? But if it's like, okay, so maybe there is, the possibility that when I do die, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know where I'm going to go, but maybe I do have a soul, or maybe there is something else that's beyond my material body that is going to continue on after the identity of Chris or the ego of Chris is gone. That thing still persists and is eternal.
Do you feel like you don't feel like it is something can't be purposeful or valuable if it doesn't last forever, like if you're only living for a limited amount of time?
Not that it can't, it's just easy to give up. Like, it becomes much easier to give up on, right? Like, if my purpose is, I'm going to raise my children the best way I can, and then I like have these, but then that doesn't ultimately matter, because when I die and when my children die, we're all just going to be dirt. And so is everybody else on the planet, right? So like when it comes to the point where it's like, okay, this is getting way too hard, and I rather just, I don't know, like hand them off to their grandparents and run off and do whatever else, or like sail into the sunset. That's a lot easier to do when we're all going to become dirt than when we hold to like, okay, there's more than just me and there's more than just our bodies, is basically my argument.
Yeah. Well, I can't really argue about
Not
the
that
kid
you
stuff.
would do it, but just the fact that it's so much easier is already, in my opinion, kind of dangerous.
I feel like I can't have much to say about the children stuff because I think I'm pretty much anti-natalist, so I understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, that's just an example. It can be anything. It can be any self-prescribed purpose. It could be like your career, right? Like, I'm going to be the best.
For me, when it comes to that, and I totally get what you're saying, I consider myself a nihilist, and sometimes I struggle with it, and sometimes it's chill. I don't know. It depends on the day. But I feel like a lot of times survival or getting through hard things is just like, while I'm here, why not just do it? Why not give it the best I have? Because there will be, like, I know there's going to be good moments. I know there's going to be joyful moments. And I didn't really get obviously a say and whether I came here or not. But it's kind of like, why not just see how good it can get? For me, that obviously doesn't involve raising children at all, but
what if you did
it could for other people.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interject.
No, go ahead.
I just I had a question regarding specific thing you said. So, but what if you did choose to be here? You just don't, like, you have no recollection or understanding or meaning of what it means for you to have chosen to be alive and to be here.
Can you ask that again? I'm not sure if I understood it.
So, like, what you said, you didn't have a say in existing or not, but clearly we have no memory of anything before we were alive, and we don't know if there was anything before we were alive. But what if there was, and what if you did choose to be here and you chose the particular life you're living?
Well, I'd say,
like, would that help you in any way in, like, getting through difficult things or not? Maybe it doesn't, but, like, would it?
I don't know. Like, I feel like my first reaction is like, what the fuck? Because my early 20s was like very, very hard and very traumatic. But like, there is a lot of like joy I've had in my life at the same time. So I don't know what I would think if that were.
And that's kind of what I find, like, talking to a vast majority of people is like, we've all lived a life that's been really fucking tough and really hard, but we all would, like, kind of necessarily not do it over again, but, like, we're happy that we're alive and we're happy that we had those experiences, and we're happy that we've grown from them and learned from them and kind of moved on from them. So I don't know.
I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know. I kind of view it as if our species evolved in that way of wanting to survive just because it's in our biology. Like, I think a lot of people are afraid of death and dying, and that's just part of our evolution in general. So, like, I guess when I think of the fact that I don't want to die or whatever, I don't really look at it as like so much a personal choice, but more like I feel like it's literally ingrained in me to just want to stay alive. I feel like it's like I don't know what you want to call it, like like an instinct or something that I don't fully have control over. But yeah, I don't know.
I get it. And this conversation is obviously, like, anti-scientism because we can't prove any of this, or my viewpoint at least is anti-scientism because none of it can be proved, and I cannot possibly provide you any evidence for any of it. But if I'm going to die and become dirt, yes, I'm terrified of dying. I do not want to die. I do not want to lose life and become dirt. But if I'm going to die and there's the possibility that there's more to it, or there's a possibility that my body is just kind of like an antenna that's tapped into, like, some cosmic consciousness, and that consciousness is eternal, then I'm not as afraid of dying. And it's like, okay, yeah, I do want to ride this out wherever it takes me, but when it's the end of the ride, then I'm not scared.
Would you be afraid of being dead though, or afraid of dying, or both?
Of both. Well, like, if you're talking about, like, pain, yeah, I would be afraid of the pain of dying. Like, depends on how I die, but, like, the pain that's associated with that, I would be afraid of regardless. But as far as being dead, I would be terrified of being dead if it was like, well, that's kind of like a category error though, because if I just die and I'm dirt and what I regard as myself, which is my consciousness, is gone, then there's nobody there to be terrified of it. But here and now, living my life and going through my life, that idea is terrifying.
So it just feels like too much to you. Like if that was the reality and somehow you figured that out for a fact, you would just be like, that's like too much.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of not just me. I find like that's kind of a
oh,
human
it's not
condition.
just you.
Like,
yeah, it's definitely not just you. But is it the like what part of it makes you feel fear? Like you didn't get to do all of the things that you wanted to do in life, or like is it the fear of the unknown? Like what part of it do you feel like speaks to you the most?
I think the part that terrifies me the most is the fear of like it was meaningless. Like, and let's say hypothetically, it's not just me, right? Let's say like everybody dies and there's nobody left, and there's no like, what did we do all this for? Like,
we vibed.
Like it's just, I don't know. It could be like stupid, but at the same time, it bothers me because it's like, why are we, building skyscrapers if a meteor is going to hit it? And like, yeah, it helps people in their lives. Yeah, I get it. Okay, sure. Like we're doing things to better our lives day by day, but ultimately, like, what's the purpose and meaning? And if there is some sort of like eternal cosmic whatever it is, then it kind of helps with that. That's all I'm saying. And it could not, but if that helps you to thrive, then don't get rid of that just because scientism can't prove God, That's all I'm saying.
How do you feel about like absurdist people who find comfort in not existing anymore, or there being no inherent meaning to any of this and we decide our purpose and stuff? How, like, does that make sense to you that for some people it would give them, I don't know what the word is, peace, or view life in a positive way?
So basically like the opposite side of the coin, someone that's like relieved that there's no purpose and kind of anything other than, I mean, I get it. Yeah, sure. If that helps you and, you can get through life and that makes you feel better. I just don't know if that would, that can work short term from what I've seen and what I've experienced. It works short term, but then after a while it kind of wears off. And then you're still like stuck there like, oh, I'm just all alone and none of this matters. Like, who cares?
There's a lot of people that find that the thought of living for eternity is horrifying. And I think it's horrifying too. I'm not saying I'm not afraid of like dying and stuff. And sometimes the thought of not existing anymore really bothers me because I get FOMO. But the thought of existing forever sounds horrible too, because I think it kind of depends on what your experience in life has been or like how you view it. But I know for me personally, I think a lot of what impacts that is like how my brain works or how exhausting it is to be in my brain, or for other, like for people and myself, it could be like mental illness. And the thought of existing in that brain for eternity is horrifying. For me, I feel like existing forever and no longer existing are equally as scary, but I feel like probably existing forever scares me a bit more because, you have to actually participate.
No, I definitely understand that. And I'm a baby in Hinduism and Buddhism, but from what I'm understanding, like the philosophy of it at least is that there is this eternal cosmic like consciousness, and precisely the reason why we have like these separate experiences and the reason why this consciousness separates itself like over and over, and this happens for eternitum, like it just goes on forever. But like he, she, it, whatever, however you want to describe it, plays out these like cosmic dramas, and they're like hundreds of billions of years long, and like they just cycle through like different things. And the point of it is like you forget and you don't know that you're this cosmic consciousness playing
so
the
like
role
reincarnation.
that you're playing. It's not even like reincarnation. It's yeah, they do believe in reincarnation as well, but it's kind of more like, that's why I asked, like, what if you did choose to be a part of this in like in your specific way and in your specific form in your specific life? You just don't know that you did, because that's part of the play. That's part of like the fun of it, is that you don't remember, because otherwise you would just be this like eternal cosmic consciousness that's like bored to death with the fact that like you're eternal, like this is never gonna end.
Yeah,
we do need to move to super chats, but I want to make a quick recommendation, Chris. I know an author. Her name is Greta Christina, and she wrote a pretty good book called Comforting Thoughts About Death That Have Nothing to Do with God. It's a little paperback. You can get it for $8 on Amazon or the Kindle version for $3. Just like if you're interested in processing that.
Can you give me 1 second to get something to write that down with? Greta?
Yeah, her name is Greta Christina.
Greta Christina. Comforting Thoughts About Death Without God?
Yeah, Comforting Thoughts About Death That Have Nothing to Do with God. You'll be able to find it with those search terms.
Got it.
Also,
Perfect.
Also add the Sunny Nihilist to that as well. I found that really good.
Sunny Nile?
Sunny Nihilist.
Oh, got you. Sunny Nihilist. Okay, cool. Can I say one more quick thing real quick, and then you guys can move on? It's going to take half a second. So with that last caller about morality, I usually just say my morality or my ethics are objective. They're grounded in reason, and reason doesn't need to be grounded in anything else because to ground reason in anything requires reason itself. So it's circular. So you can have objective morals without God.
Well done. Very good. I wish you were. I wish you were here for that whole conversation because oh boy.
Yeah, we could have started and ended with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would have just shut him down like right away without all the weird necrophilia stuff.
Oh, that was.
I'm sure he
brutal.
still would have went there no matter what. But thanks for calling, Chris.
All right,
thanks,
guys.
Chris.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye
Good
bye.
one.
I almost pressed leave in our stream and just completely left the stream. Oh my god.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I was just like bye, and then I just
You did.
Whatever. All right, let's get to our super chats because I really have to pee. $10 from One Eye Atheist. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. We're here and we've found a striking inability within ourselves to get used to bigots. Trans joy is a revolutionary act and MAGA is bound to lose. Well said.
$5 from Michael Do 7904. I see we get 2 days in a row with Taylor. Is this our reward for doing No King's Day? Thanks. 2 days in a row. Is it 2 weeks in a row?
You
or
tomorrow,
the pod?
dingbat.
Oh.
Lovingly.
I forgot about it already. Don't remind me. I'm nervous.
Oh my god. $5 from Alyssa on a silver bow. I don't know who Salman Rushdie was either. Solidarity with Taylor and Alyssa. That was one of the most ridiculous things in the world. Thank you.
$5 for Space Barbarian. Gen X here, just providing info. I know him from pissing off Ayatollah and getting a hit put out on him. What?
Well,
Salman Rushdie was targeted by Muslim extremists, I guess.
Oh. Okay.
Not so good. Not so good. $5 from Alice in Dr. Pepper. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Today and today only, you are able to perceive me. Lux, I can see you.
You are perceived.
Terrifying.
$5 from Alyssa Nguyen. Women serve their husbands. Human females eat the males after what?
Copulation.
Hashtag it's a cookbook. Wait, what? I think I'm confused by this, but I used to have a sticker on my water bottle that said feminism, and then it was a praying mantis eating the head of a male.
Yeah, I think that's the vibe.
Okay.
Love.
That's what I thought.
Oh, $100. Wow, that's really generous. Thank you, David. David G.
Thanks.
1012. You guys, I'm really smart now. You don't even know. You could ask me, Kelly, what's the biggest company in the world? And I'd be like, blah, 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 giving you the exact right answer. Kelly Kapoor, I love that. I love that quote so much. Have you seen that before, Taylor?
I don't remember that scene.
Oh, it's the best. It's
but
so
when
good.
when I think of her, I think of when she went on that lemonade diet and she was deteriorating. And it's so funny.
Oh god.
$10
So
from
good.
Ali Shauna Silverbow. The horror movie that got me was Sandman. It was partly a documentary on a horror movie subculture, and partly a fictional horror story. I thought it was just a documentary when I watched it. I love shaky films. I love documentary, like doc style horror movies. They're the best. I know some people hate them, but I love them.
Yeah,
So I have to
I
watch
like them
them.
too. 5 pounds for Mystic Mind Analysis. I'm low on mental energy tonight, so I may not be chatty. Just wanted to say happy Trans Day I assume that's Trans Day of Visibility. I don't know if the F was on purpose and there's a different thing, but and my art will always be trans inclusive as it should be. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you. $10 from Mr. Bariqua. People harping on others for not knowing certain people or groups annoys the dickens out of me. Will y'all ever hear of, I don't know that name, this person or his projects? Like Arion? No, y'all uncultured? I don't know who this person is. I am uncultured though, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Boniqua. Oh my God, Astro. $5 from SJL. Someone should make a gender-flipped Jesus story. All the Bible thumpers might stroke out. No, truly, it would get banned.
Yes, please.
In Trump's America, it would get banned.
In Trump's America. $10 from Drazok. Yeah. We'll go with that.
$10 from Arcane Goat. Atheism provides the same moral framework theism provides, i.e. none. They don't provide moral frameworks. Right. That's the other thing too, is people who are atheists are so stuck on like atheism being a club of people and we all have like ones. It's literally the lack of belief. So like that's not how that works.
Right. $20 from God Sinner. So close to saying, can't see that they also have subjective morals, so they have to bring up the most effed up crap. Almost always goes to incest, one of the most triggering talk for me. Good luck. We'll be back after this call. Char? I'm confused about those. But anyways, yeah, they always bring up those two exact things, the twins and the
It's corpse. The same. It's so ridiculous. $5 from Bobby Keniston. Knock, knock. Who's there? Interrupting Mark. But what if it's a dead body or a dead cat? I am shocked. No morality. Give me a sec.
Literally.
Really.
$5 from Meg. A DNR is literally set up to protect someone's choice after they are I'm guessing no longer alive. Dead bodies also have laws about consent, you fucking monster. He won't be hearing any of that, so
right.
I don't think he wanted to hear literally a single thing, but yeah, that's a good point.
Genuinely don't think he heard a single fucking word either of you said.
No.
Yep.
I don't think so. $9.99 from Safco DSP. Ask Mark for the chapter and verse which clarifies the moralities of the hypotheticals he's posing. Yeah, I would like to know that as well.
616 from Mindwise. The almighty Doug sends some monetary blessings to indicate her content with the content both hosts have blessed the viewers with. Hashtag, what is RHFD?
Rock hard for Doug. It's a Justin Deconstruction Zone meme.
Gosh dang it. I don't know any of these. And then GFP?
It's gay for something. I don't know what the P stands for, though.
Gay for pay?
Oh, yeah, that might be it.
Maybe.
I never know those, except for Jimmy, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. $10 from the Atheist Mechanic. This is for dealing with Mark's call. He was such a gross call. Yeah, I know.
Good times. $5 from Coffee Mom. Mark believes everything must come from his God because otherwise men would be inherently superior. Wouldn't be. Sorry, I thought it was burping. Wouldn't be inherently superior to women every damn time, every damn religion. Yup.
$5 from Zeno Goyce. I don't know. Cosmic Cat tells us to care about each other. All hail the Cosmic Cat of caring. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
I love it.
$10 from Tony the Silent Man. Mark is the most obvious example of only waiting until it's his turn to talk and not listening to a goddamn word. He couldn't repeat a word you say back to you if it roundhouse kicked him in the face. Yep.
$10 from Green31 OSU. I feel like we all need a nap after Mark's call.
Literally. $5 from Debulous Urs. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Back-to-back cathartic mic drops from Taylor. Shane Mark was too stupid to understand how thoroughly he was destroyed. I think he just genuinely didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I think so too. $5 from Jason Rehere. If there is to be a cosmic cat, I nominate our cat, Alex Karev.
From Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy. That's funny. He washes his fellow cat's ears and often gives up some of his food for them. Hashtag cat morals. That's really cute.
$10 from Moira Bannister. At Emma, I hear you, I love you. It's not easy. If you just keep trying without expectations, you'll find you grow yourself more and more and become a more attractive person. People are attractive when they're interesting. Yeah, I literally thought that when you brought up like doing like hobbies and stuff. I hear some people say like basically work on being the partner like you would want to have, and I think that's great advice.
Yeah, and it's like such annoying advice to give when you're really down and out. It's like get a hobby. It just feels bad sometimes, but it's so true. Like that
if you
it makes
frame
you
it,
so attractive to people.
I also feel like if you frame it in the way where like this is what you could do in the meantime, it's like a bit better.
Yeah. $5 from Fiona the Foxy. I was looking nice in a dress for a speaking event for TDO. Oh, Trans Availability. Duh. Let me tell you, just going to a gas station, I was creeped on and followed. Ugh, I'm so
gas stations
sorry.
are the worst for that.
The worst. The worst.
$5 from Jam Nick. Be wary if I match with a skilled artisan who builds, repairs, restores stringed instruments. They could be Lex Luthor. Hashtag Superman super chat pun. I don't get that one, but I don't know Superman that well.
Neither.
Lex Luthier. A luthier is somebody who makes things out of wood.
I literally just read it Lex Luthor because I know that's the dude.
Wow, Lux, how do you just like have that in your brain? How do you know that?
I am a person who likes crafts.
See?
I like the way you said that.
Get hobbies, and then all of a sudden you get very smart. $10 for Moira Bannister. Just a shout out. I called the channel when I was in love with an OF model and thought I was a cis man. It takes work. It takes lots of work, but if you don't stop working, it gets so much better. Yeah, Moira. That's a new picture too. I like it. You look great.
$5 from Desk Frame. The only people doing anything in the jungle are me and Mark's mom. Consensually, of course.
Stop.
That's funny.
God. $20 from Elec Base 100. This donation is for the only people interested in answering a direct question in Mark's conversation. The hosts and even the producer Lux, but not the caller. Theism/atheism is not a moral proposition. Joel. Oh, Joel. Thank you so much, Joel.
$5 from Alishana Silverbow. I'm only familiar with 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why/why. Palette cleanser needed after Mark. So
yes. Thank you. $5 from Jamnik06. The letter C doesn't trust the rest of the letters because they're not all C. Because they're all not C. Oh, they're all not C. I get it. Okay. Hashtag alphabet jokes. Hashtag Aliyah started it. That's funny.
$5 from Dusk Frame. If trans women aren't women, why are they called broad shoulders?
Love
checkmate
it.
Transphobes. I love the checkmate.
There's a really funny, I'll see if I could find it, meme related to that. Okay, $5 from Joshua Everett. Giving them up is better than keeping the kids when you're unable to care for them out of fear for whatever you think a god thinks.
$5 from Jamnik. Can we see a fur baby or a plushie? I'm totally not asking. Just to check off some bingo squares. Hashtag team looks. Hashtag death. Not a poop joke.
I had Astro on my lap just now. He was just on the camera, so you saw him. $5 from Space Barbarian. Are you excited for humans returning to the moon? Next try is tomorrow. Something good comes from the 1/3% of the federal budget NASA gets. I know. I was saying on the podcast, it's so funny when they do stuff like that. It's like we can't afford to pay people, but we are sending people to the moon. Weird.
No healthcare.
No healthcare. We are going to the moon though. So funny. Also, the meme I was thinking of, it's like a Sopranos guy and it says women light up the world. That's why it's called Broad Daylight. I love that one. It's one of my favorite ones ever.
$5 from Jamnik. Thought I was into sad necrobestiality until I realized
necrobestiality.
Oh, okay. Until I realized I was just beating a dead horse. Hashtag Mark sucks. Hashtag puns rock. You're funny.
$5 from Space Barbarian. Yay! Proof of dog. Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't even realize it was on bingo today.
$10 from Lizzie Dog. Technically, Eve is trans, made from Adam's rib. Just saying. New to y'all's channel and grateful to be here. Hugs, love, and good vibes to you. Thank you, Lizzie.
$10 from Nathan J. Arndt. God damn it, missed the show. I wanted to be a dolphin trainer, but couldn't eke out a living. That's fine.
$5 from Alyssa Nguyen. To serve man. It's a cookbook. The Twilight Zone. Don't know. Oh,
that's interesting.
It's like you're serving man, like serving him on a platter.
Yeah.
Oh. Based.
$9.99 from Clee. It gives clit almost, which I love. Soldier here. Oh my God, sorry. Soldier here. Got a call from my chief asking me if I want to volunteer to deploy to the Middle East. I said no. What I really wanted to say is fuck no and fuck DJT. I love you girls. Rock on. Hashtag RHFD.
Does anyone volunteer? Like,
that's crazy.
Like, I get why people join the military, but like, does anyone like me? I want to be deployed to a scary place.
And also, like, to know that it's started because like our president is a fucking dumb idiot. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, big dumb energy. Thank you guys for watching today. Thank you, Lux, for producing, and Dragon for screening our calls, and all of our wonderful mods in the chat, and our patrons. Go to patreon.com/calltheline, and you can support this show and all of our other shows. Go to linemerch.com if you want something cutie butt that you can wear every day. I need to get more line merch, actually. And
also, watch me be awkward tomorrow.
Yeah. And watch Jimmy's show right after this. There's so much.
Oh, that made a weird noise.